Really good basketball game. Went almost like I thought it would go. Um, it's they got one of the best players in the country. You start making decisions on how you want to guard them, and those are challenges. And then you see that they've made 52% of their threes, or shot 52% of their shots. Excuse me, coming in. Um, they went really small in the second half, and it was a handful. My hats off to Toppin. That's a good basketball team. That's a team that's going to vie for a league championship. Um, they're very efficient defensively. I thought they did a nice job of staying out of rotation. They kind of moved Toppin around to whoever was kind of had the hot hand for us, but unique that we don't make a three in the second half, and it shows we can do a lot of other things. That's the value of Dre. It's the value of Colin Boswell living downhill, getting to the free throw line. I think he could be one of the leaders in the country in free throw attempts. But we took what they gave us, and tonight it was good. I'm really proud that we withstood their run, and we knew what was coming. They did it all last year, just pretty much ISO, and I thought the job Kylan did defensively, and he gets not near enough credit nationally for how good defensively he is. He went from guarding their point guard to guarding their five man, and his fronting with some help on the backside was huge. And then I told our guys the game started when the ball went up on the glass, and we had to win the rebounding battle if we wanted to win the game. And fortunately for us tonight, we did that.
Coach, as you mentioned, they went on their heater there to start the second half. What do you think the keys were, or were there adjustments to counterpunching that and closing out the game?
No, I think the one thing you decide is what you're going to give up when you've got really, really good players, and a team again that shot over half their shots from three, and you've got a guy like Atwell that is made 6 a game. You've got a guy like Anderson who has been a 30-point game, and considered one of the top guards, and not just in the United States, but also in Europe. And you got to decide what you're going to give up. And we talked about at halftime what was coming. It was a steady dose of post ups, and I thought we let him get way too deep. We knew he was predominantly right shoulder, left hand. We knew we didn't want to pass it. And then I thought we did a much better job of taking away that a little bit. And then when we did decide to go double him, we forced a couple of turnovers. And so, we didn't want to give up a ton of threes tonight. And I thought we were very efficient in that area. I thought we did a nice job on Anderson. He was over. But you're going to give something up against them. And you decide what that looks like. And tonight the plan B or C or whatever it was kind of worked, and then we were able with our size to switch. We put Dre on Anderson and Bam on him, and we were able to switch that ball screen and not get hurt by it.
Yeah, Brad, when you talk about Kylan's defense, but really the entire package of the things he did as a creator, the way he made shots. I mean, it's hard to think of many guys nationally that contribute in so many ways as he does. Can you speak to how unique it is to get contributions like that all over the floor from a guy like that?
Yeah, I've been saying it for 2 years. I don't worry about that's your guys' job on the national level is to figure all that stuff out. And I just keep saying it that he's really good two-way player. I've said he's elite defensively, extremely strong. But yeah, he's our leader. We follow him. He had a kind of a bad turnover late, and I've got to see the flagrant foul, but he's our guy. And downhill, open floor with the shooting we have with our 5 men, he can be very efficient and put himself in a position to be one of the best guards in America.
Coach Andre seemed like he was very patient, waiting for those driving lanes to open. How does that kind of balance with the pace you're looking for in this roster squad with Keaton and Kylan and Mihaila?
It's perfect. He was much better tonight than he was the other night. The other night he was just in go mode, a little sped up. I don't think we played as fast tonight. They had something to do with that, particularly in the second half, because we couldn't get a stop. But yeah, I mean, when you've got a couple guards that are physical and downhill, and then you've got guys who can shoot it, we're going to create some space, and so he's a tremendous value.
Right. I was going to ask. That felt like everything. Why you made him such a priority in the transfer portal, including the defensive end. Just did you expect that to come to fruition right now? And just what is he going to add?
Well, I think it's a credit to him. He's missed 7 weeks, and but you have a certain expectation level because he's a junior. He's been around. He knows what high level games look like. He knows what really good players look like being in the ACC, and but I think his very, very pleased and probably surprised at just the connectivity. He makes a big time steal. We came out of a timeout and switched the ball screen, and Anderson threw it to him. And and it comes over the top and makes a nice steal. That's something he hasn't practiced. He's watched it in practice as we've worked on it, but yeah, so it's nice to have that. And offensively, we had a pretty good idea of what we were getting. Yeah, I think he's got a chance again with Kylan and Keaton. Both those guys are really good defenders, and I think Drake can fit right in and be one of the better defenders out there as well.
I guess you had to wait for it, but that pairing with Kylan and Andre, I guess on both sides. I mean,
I had to wait too.
I said you did. I mean,
yeah.
But was that what you envisioned in April when you first got Andre, or?
I wish it was April.
Whatever. I mean,
that would I could have had a summer vacation. Yeah, I mean, we were very specific in what we were looking for with him, and we had some other guys that we chose to let go of and not have keep recruiting and very specific to what we were looking for. It's nice to see that, in a really small sample size kind of work out. We'll see as the season goes, but great human being, great kid, works really hard, and it's unfortunate the injury, but he's done everything that we've asked for, and we'll see how that keeps materializing.
Brad, when you started doubling Toppin, you took Z out, and was that just because you'd be in rotation and have to chase it?
Yes, they had shooters, and it's not a knock on him. What we originally were doing was putting him, who he was guarding, putting them in the dunker spot. So he was actually the guy coming over in rotation, and but then they moved him, and so we didn't want to switch that matchup and get a guard in a ball screen, and so it was just more about a reaction to their counter, and so it worked out. Ben did a nice job.
Coach, the connection and us with the chemistry with your team seems to be pretty natural. Just what do you think goes into that?
Well, 5 of them from Europe. They all know each other. I think that helps. You know what? And I'm not trying to be sarcastic there, but we got really good guys. We got really, really good people. They care about each other. They care about what's important. It was you have to be around these guys every day to see the celebration that just took place in the locker room because Bam's achievement tonight. And I mean, just dousing him with water and the genuine, and that's what we want to be about. And that's what celebrating moments with teammates that you care about. That's what ultimately this is about, because those build lifetime relationships. So got good people.
Brad, you've been really telling everybody how good you thought Andre could be defensively before tonight. I mean, what gave you the confidence to ultimately see what he did and then to punctuate it the way that he did tonight?
He's got great size. He's got great feet. He's freakishly athletic. I think we'll see that as we continue to see him get into shape. Probably played him 5 or 6 more minutes than I had hoped, just simply because of conditioning. But and then it was going to be, the sad thing for me is that I didn't get to demand for 7 weeks that he guard at a very high level, because my whole premise going into the fall was to make him an elite wing defender and hold him to that. He doesn't need to score big every single night for us to win and be a great offensive player, but he does have to guard. And that will just help him grow as a player as well. But that's the part I miss the most, is the 7 weeks I didn't get to scream and bark at him to guard.
Coach, any update on Tommy as far as test results or anything like that?
No, it's Tommy's deal is a little bit, as I've said, it's a little bit more complex, just simply because he's missed a lot, and the conditioning piece plays into that. But he won't play Friday.
And Mihilo went through warm-ups, dressed for the game, but didn't go. Is he getting closer?
Yeah, he's getting closer, and it was important that he get the feel of warm-ups and the pregame routine, because the first time he's done that. He was a partial participant yesterday in practice, which is a good sign, and he was fine doing it. So we'll see how these next couple of days go with him.
All the way back.
Coach, for you, going into this, going into next week against Colgate and Alabama, how much can a statement win like this tonight kind of build this confidence in this team so early in the season?
We'll find out. It sure helps. That's a good basketball team tonight, and they're very well coached. They're very disciplined. They play really hard. They have the same mentality we do. But Colgate's going to be an NCAA tournament team. They're picked to win their league. Obviously, Cam knows them very well. There'll be a little extra juice, I'm sure. And they'll present a different challenge. And then Alabama's going to present a different challenge. So I think there's confidence in knowing that we got punched tonight. We saw that in the Florida scrimmage as well, and we reacted. I didn't think we had our A game tonight in some sense, but give them a lot of credit.
Kylan was sort of touting his recruiting effort in getting Andre here. Do you remember the offseason the same way? Was he an impact?
I'm pretty positive he was impactful.
He credited himself. He gave himself.
He can have all the credit he wants. He can take the whole damn thing. Doesn't matter to me. I'm an us guy. If he wants all the credit, he's got it.
Brad, in the vein of Io and Marcus and TJ, you've always kind of had a closer at the end of games. Did you always envision Andre to come in instantly and be able to do that, or was that something that you felt like was going to take time?
You think that's going to be the case. Upperclassmen been through it. You think that you've got one in Kylan. A second one gives you a great option, especially when those guys are able to get downhill and you can't foul them. And so then it becomes about matchups and attacking the matchup. So it's very nice to have that, and I think he'll continue to blossom in that area.
Grant had quite a lot of praise for Keaton's offensive rebounding tonight. I'm curious what you thought about him crashing the glass and then just anything else.
Two of the biggest plays of the night. We were stagnant. We were flat, and he comes up with two balls that keep it alive, keep it going, and we score. And the great thing about Keaton is he takes everything to heart that I say, and I think he's our leading offensive rebounder in 3 games. He's got great size. He's got a great nose for the ball, and he was huge tonight. And that's, when you get guards that rebound, and our guards have always rebounded, but he's in that 6-7 a game rebound night, and Kylan's in the same thing. When you get guards that can rebound, it's a pretty good thing.
Brad, I got to ask you about Peja Stojakovic being here, and I know you guys know him a little bit in the recruitment. Just what has been his impact with Andre, obviously with his background?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about one of the all-time greats, not just in Europe and his country, where he is made a trip to Belgrade this summer, and you find out how large he is. I mean, he's a Michael Jordan like figure over there, but he's let his son grow up. He's helped him. He has great advice. He's cerebral, but there's no real pressure from him. But just and Dre's a different player, and that's a tribute to Dre's success for finding it. When your dad's one of the all-time greatest shooters in the history of the game, and not that he's a bad shooter, he's not, but he's a downhill athletic driver. He's just a different player, and so mom's genes are in there somewhere, and it's it's just a nice feeling to see their interaction and how close they are, and you talk about just both of them, both he and his mom and dad just raised a terrific son.
Coach, with Keaton, is there some satisfaction in that the outside world is now seeing what you and your staff saw when you recruited him and what you saw throughout the summer and preseason practice?
Not really. Doug, we knew what we were getting. I don't give two shits what the outside world thinks. If you don't know me better than that now, I don't care. I'll get in trouble by my wife for saying a cuss word, but we knew we were getting a good player. I'm glad that he has. I'm not going to say progressed. I'm excited to see him handle the anxiety of being a freshman in college and all that comes with that. And that's the new classes, the new system, the new teammates, the new environment. Mom and dad aren't at home, and waking you up every morning, and just all of the stuff that comes with that, being an 18-year-old, and then being productive on the basketball court. And I'm probably not the easiest guy in the world to play for, but he's just handled it like a champion.
How would you evaluate Z's play tonight, maybe more in the first half than the second half?
Z was outstanding. Z's a gamer. I mean, he is outstanding. I mean, you start talking offensively, and see, Z screwed up tonight because that offensive rebound he grabbed was elite. And unfortunately, I haven't seen that before. So now I've got some ammunition and some film to hold over his head. We see the step back three. We see the rip drive layups. We see that side of things. And his confidence is just growing. But tonight was just the second half was more about a matchup, but I thought he was fantastic.
But just one more about Tommy. Is there anything on the horizon that would provide any more clarity in terms of what a timeline could look like for him, or how are you kind of approaching it?
Just treatments, rest, and whatever they do. Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever they do.
We got time for two more. Jeremy.
Brad, this I think your first non-conference ranked home win.
Wow, that stinks.
I was going to ask, you haven't had those yet. They kind of slipped through your finger. What's it mean or how did you get this one?
Man, is that the truth?
There's only been four.
Gosh darn. Bad coach. At home. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there's. We've only had four. Yeah, we were talking in pregame about the 5-second call against Plummer in the Arizona game, but yeah, I guess it's a good thing. It's a nice thing. I'm happy for our fans. I truly am. I'm ecstatic because I'm going to keep bringing. I hope every year bringing the quality opponents in that are ranked and top teams, and to see games like that. I enjoy coaching in them. I enjoy being challenged that way, and I hope you all enjoy covering him and seeing him yeah, maybe I'll get to 500 at some point.
This will wrap us up.
Yeah, Brian, I'm just kind of curious where you're at with this defensive process. Held 6 transition points, no free throws, very few threes, threw a lot at them, different coverages wise. Like, how much do you trust this group defensively to play 6 or 7 different coverages that you're asking of them right now?
We're cerebral for a part of it, and that's where our freshmen have been really good. David, Keaton, Brandon, before he got hurt, understanding the communication pieces of it and what they see. We're continuing to grow in that area. We're far. It's what I've been worried about the most with Andre, is that end of the court, and those are mistakes we can't make. I'm relatively pleased, and I think we've had good halves. I thought we followed the game plan pretty close to a T tonight. I wouldn't have envisioned him with 35. I would have figured he's getting 20 to 25. He's just going to get that almost every night if he's not in foul trouble. But yeah, really pleased.
Okay, thank you.